Having really good shooting ability in football can really elevate your game, especially if you're an attacking player. So I want to go over 5 things, 5 tips that are going to help you just really improve your shooting technique, your shooting ability, so that you're way more dangerous in matches and you're scoring more goals. That's coming up next. So we're jumping right into it, starting in reverse order with number 5. And number 5 is one of the most common mistakes I see. And if you correct this one thing, it's going to improve your shooting technique dramatically, and it's make sure you are locking your ankle. When I analyze players who are working on this is one of their biggest things that they have to get over is they have a floppy ankle. Now, instead of going into exactly how to do this, I'm going to link a video down below in the description on how to do this. It's very simple, but something you need to work on because you're never going to get your shooting technique and form down. You're going to struggle to shoot with power as well if you don't learn how to lock your ankle. Now, moving on to number 4 is one of the practices that will, in my eyes, most quickly help you get better shooting technique, and that is to practice against a wall over and over again. And the reason this is so good is you get in so many repetitions. Now, I have another video that goes over how to shoot a football perfectly, and if you apply the technique I give you in that video, and you go to a wall and you practice it over and over and over and over again, not only are you going to get so much better at it, you're going to start to get a feel for this technique, which is going to help you do it automatically in games. Now, I will link that in the description as well. I'm also going to link it as a card at the end of this video. But again, that's going to be a great resource for you to be able to learn proper shooting form and then go practice it against a wall or some other surface that allows you to take shots over and over again very quickly. So hey, if you're enjoying this video so far or you've gotten something out of it, please hit that like button. Now we'll move on to number 3. And number 3 is to start learning different techniques that you can use in other situations. If you're only good at one technique, it's going to limit you because in some situations you want to just go for power. Other situations you want to be able to drag the ball across goal or curl it to the far post, etc., etc. And so you want to have many different techniques that you've worked on. Again, going to a wall is going to help you to do this, but once you've mastered your general shooting technique, you want to start getting into the more nuanced stuff. You want to start getting into some of the other things I'm going to go over later in this video, but also working on other techniques, using the side of your foot to place it in the corner, or even using the side of your foot to go for more power and reverse it the other way, going for the near post, going for the far post, practicing in different situations, because this is just going to make you more effective in front of goal. Now, again, if you know how to hit a ball sweetly and with really good technique, that's going to go a long way to helping you with your shooting and scoring goals, but you also want to be working on these other techniques after you have that one at a pretty competent level. Before we move on, if you haven't already, download my free ebook Game Changer, which is actually going to help you take your game to the next level with 50+ pages of drills and techniques and tips. You can get that down below in the description. Now let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is just general shooting technique, and it's keep it hard and low. Now, it's of course amazing to strike a ball towards the top corner and see it nestle into the top corner, but one of the things that keepers struggle with the most is if you hit the ball hard and low with good technique towards the corners. This is something Harry Kane has said in interviews, and many other strikers have, that they go for that. They try and hit it hard and low towards those corners because it's harder for the keeper to get down to the ground than it is if it's at waist height or even higher, because it's easier for their arms to get there. They're already closer to it. Whereas if you hit it low, you keep it really low, it's going to be harder for him to get down to it, dive down to it.
Bottom corner for me is my favourite. You know, people go mad about top corner goals when it looks beautiful off the crossbar and goes in, but I was always taught as a kid low and hard, and it's always difficult for a keeper.
And number 1 is to mentally aim and to also back yourself. Go into each shot with confidence and have like a mental picture of where you want to put it. And you want to make this pretty automatic, and then your body will follow if you've practiced enough. I know this sounds almost inconsequential, but it can make a huge difference. Especially I notice when I'm taking free kicks, you'll notice that if you have really good technique, this will work a lot, but you can get really good at doing this quickly just before you shoot, kind of mentally aiming, just seeing a quick picture of where you want to put it, and then your body a lot of times will follow suit. Now again, this is something you need to work on, so when you're training, you know, pick your spot, don't just do it randomly, have an actual thing you're aiming for, and then during your matches, you know, you want to be doing the same thing, flash that picture, and mentally aim for where you want to put it. And I only say this because a lot of players will just kind of hit and hope, but if you have an intention, you actually mentally aim, you actually go for something and have a target, it, you'll find that as you get better with your technique, you're hitting this more and more and more. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you want to learn how to strike a football kind of perfectly with really good technique, and I break down what this technique looks like, go watch this video next. I give you so much in that video that's going to help you with your shooting form, how to work on this, and so much more. So I'll see you over there.